Guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the test server and patch 1.73 is up, meaning we have engraving for our Mauler heroes. So we've waited this for a considerable amount of time. We only have the Graveborns left, so let's go ahead and check out the good and the bad with the Maulers. I haven't looked at them yet, so we're just going to run through the faction and see exactly what ones I think are going to be super beneficial. Of course, starting with Brutus, guys. He is the king. So attack rating increased up to 120 and haste increased by 28. Could make a little bit of a difference. That's a percentage based on haste, but I don't think that's enough for him to do a lot of damage. This is the big one. When Last Gasp is triggered, Brutus receives 800 energy points, guys. That is right. As long as you can get him to do damage, because with his ultimate ability, he can do the roar, he can do the whirlwind. That's kind of going to guarantee that he is going to ult. So could make a little bit of difference. Then again, like I had said before, he doesn't do that much damage. So that might not make a difference at all for the hero. Khasos, a little bit more damage increase. Like we said before, not going to make a difference. All allies, attributes of all allies. So 21 points to life leech. Not enough to make a difference, guys. So from 18 to 21, 3 points of life leech. Like I had said before, when you utilize life leech, if the enemy is shielded, it doesn't do anything. That is kind of the counter to life leech. And when you start getting level deficiencies, that is not enough to make a difference. Vurk, poison enemies lose health equal to 80% of attack rating per second. And then after 20 seconds of battle, Vurk will set poison traps in the center of the battlefield and behind himself. So we do get additional poison traps, which are going to provide a little more crowd control. So that can make a difference probably when it comes to the Mauler Tower. I don't see a lot of players using Vurk within the campaign, just for the simple fact he gets stunned on his ultimate ability, and he gets stunned very frequently. If the enemy team has crowd control, chances are he is not going to be able to ult, which is where his damage comes from. They needed something to protect his ultimate ability. Numisu, he was one I was excited about. So the mock duration is extended to 3 seconds. So again, that's not going to make that big of a difference because the mock duration is extended. So enemies will attack the totems. The totems need more health. The totems usually die in one single hit, which makes Numisu almost pointless because the offensive totems do die super fast, especially again when you get into level deficiencies. Phantasm, haste increased to 60, normal attack speed increased to 40. That could be really beneficial for some heroes, guys. That is a massive haste increase. Also, heroes that rely on a normal attack. I wonder heroes like Gwen that really do rely on that normal attack. If you're giving her a big haste buff plus attack speed increase, that's pretty strong, especially if you couple it with engraving. I could see it working on Raku, a couple other heroes that could definitely use that attack speed boost in there. So definitely keep an eye out for him. Skreg, when enemies are within striking range of Skreg and deal damage to him, they will lose 8 haste points for 3 seconds up to 3 times. So not too bad. So not only does he have a massive damage reduction, guys, and with his furniture, he can do a further damage reduction. He can do an energy attack rating. Now he's going to take haste away from enemies, further allowing him to survive because they're not going to be doing damage as fast. Could make a pretty good difference there. Then the ability is triggered every 6 seconds with Stampede. So getting a 2-second reduction there does allow for knockback and stun a little bit further, which would be good because that is kind of the design that we see overall with the Maulers themselves. Warek, so cooldown time is reduced to 4 seconds. So again, not a big difference there for 1 second. And then Carnal Rage does a little bit more damage, which again, we're not really worried about the damage that Warek is putting up. It's more the damage reduction. This is what he is really known for. 80% more damage for 10 seconds, guys. The Bone Breaker ability is where he really shines. Antandra, now we know built with her furniture, she can do pretty well. So here she gets a 20% boost to the damage there. And then Antandra receives an additional 4% of her max health for every enemy that she strikes that is marked with Mark of the Wild. If an enemy is unmarked, they will be marked. That could be a big difference for her, guys, because remember, with the Mark of the Wild, she imprints on them doing damage, but while they're imprinted, the accuracy is reduced, energy recovery is reduced for them, and this is going to mark them. So you're going to have more heroes marked, and she is going to get an additional 4% of max health. It's going to be very tough to kill her, guys. I can see her doing very well. We already know, again, max out with the 9/9 furniture. She does phenomenal. Kind of like the Mauler Isolde is what a lot of people compare her to. This seems like it's just going to make her that much stronger. So definitely keep an eye out for her. Safiya is the one I want, guys, that I wanted to. So static field is going to 100% damage. That could be really broke, especially because all of her abilities are very strong. It's not like one or two that are really strong. Her abilities do phenomenal. If you can get her damage up, because even with her Scatterbolt, she does have the ability to stun enemies. And with her signature item, her normal attacks go to Scatterbolts. It's going to be interesting to see. I think she has a lot of viability with the Engraving. Then, of course, Spectral Disruption. When the Enchanted Circle disappears, all enemies in the circle are dealt 200% damage and are stunned for 1.5 seconds. That's going to be huge when you look at the 5 pull. So if you have the circle up when the circle disappears, they're going to get a stun. So pretty much anything that is within that Spectral Disruption is going to get a stun. I was hoping it would be a little bit more damage increase as well. But that gives her a little bit, another form of crowd control. But remember, with the signature item, or I believe it's with her furniture, she does get the extended Spectral Disruption. So now if it's extended another 15 seconds, might not make that big of a difference because you got to wait a full 40 seconds before the stun is going to take effect. And hopefully your team can survive that 40 seconds. Remember, battles are only 1:30. So we're going to have to see. That might not do that much unless you hit that mark. That's what I don't like. Some of the abilities where if and or you have to hit certain requirements for it to work, such as this. So if you have her built out with furniture, it doesn't seem as beneficial as not having it built out to trigger this ability. But static field does do a little bit of damage. We're going to have to see where she comes up. Satrena, enemies suffering damage equal to 1.5% of their max health every second. So a little bit more damage there. Overflow, energy recovery of burning enemies is reduced by 20%. So now she has a massive energy reduction, which is good. And then she also does have the healing. So she is bringing it both, guys. So not only is she going to negate the health, but she is going to negate the energy as well. So very cool ability there. Increases movement speed and attack rating effects, last for 13 seconds. So it's going to be a stronger movement speed, which is good. Again, I don't like the abilities that are kind of situational. So this, once he does the Battle Howl, it's going to give the movement speed. It's going to give the attack rating for 13 seconds. Definitely like that one. Then Savagery. When the enemy that Titus is persistently attacking dies, he'll recover 40% of the health he has already lost, and his haste will go up by 30 points. Again, not too bad, but the thing is, if an enemy dies that he is not attacking, I don't think this is going to do anything. So a little disappointed with that one as well. Drez recovers 120 energy points while he's away from the battlefield. Not too bad overall. I was hoping again for more attack rating. Would have been cool to see. Now he gets a little bit more energy. When Drez's ultimate deadly ambush deals damage to an enemy that he is pursuing, so similar that we just seen, Drez's attack rating shall be increased 3% for 5 seconds. This effect can stack up to 10 times. So a little bit of attack rating boost there, but again, it's only dealing to the enemy he is pursuing. So similar to what we just seen here with Titus, it's very persistent on the enemies that they're attacking or what they're. I can see that. I can see the enemy dying faster and this not really stacking to where it needs to, but it does also have a short duration. So again, I think Maulers are pulling kind of the short stick this time again. Enemies now lose 120 accuracy points and 35 points of haste. So not too bad, a little bit more of a reduction there. When the maximum number of critical rating points is reached, Skreg's attack rating will be increased by 10%. 10% points. Think that's a little miscommunication there, but ultimately not too bad. So once he hits the maximum, it's going to give him probably 10% more attack rating, which is good. I mean, he doesn't do that much damage, but I just wonder with the engraving if it's going to be further, especially if he can max this out quick. A 10% bonus could definitely help him with the Sandstorm ability. Inoki, melee attack heroes have their tenacity increased by 15 points, which again, we have issues with his survivability. Shield duration is increased to 7 seconds from 5 seconds. Again, I don't think that is going to make a difference when it comes to survival. Now, some of the heroes we definitely want to watch. Each time a landmine explodes, Krenn will recover 100 energy points. That's awesome. He drops 5 bombs, guys. That could be up to 500 energy points. And we know usually a lot of the landmines are exploded. So even if he gets 100, 200, he is going to ult that much faster if you have his furniture built. Old Pale is definitely going to be one to build, guys. Not only is it going to stun them, is now he is getting an energy recovery. That is awesome. While Krenn is using his ability, any damage received from enemies, excluding his target, is reduced by 50%. Any damage received from enemies, that's awesome. So while using the ability, guys, the damage is reduced by 50%, excluding his target. So a little situational, but we have some survivability issues with Krenn, especially early when he runs up to the front line. That's a very cool ability, because now if we can kind of mitigate the damage that he's taking, they said, okay, what's wrong with Krenn? And they just fixed it. They didn't just give him a little bit more damage. They fixed some of the issues with the heroes. So definitely looking at building him out. Taye of Fireball 3 has a 100% chance to deal a critical strike to the target and also deals additional damage that is equal to 10% of the health Taye has already lost. Could be interesting, could be situational, because if she didn't lose any damage, not going to deal that additional damage. But if she has taken damage, again, kind of situational. 10 seconds after casting Pyromancy, the portion of the current health is ignored, and Taye will always be at her powerful state. That could make a big difference to see the damage she is going to put out, guys. She will always be in the powerful state. So the powerful state is not going to go away. So she's going to get kind of supercharged, and that's it. It's going to stay. Wow. So very cool, guys. That could be a game changer for her in the amount of damage that she puts out, and just the craziness that we could see from her. So again, that's one that we're definitely going to have to look at. Granite, our newest hero, guys, value of the shield is increased to 360. That's a pretty big buff, guys. From 320 to 360 of his attack rating, that is a decent buff. Not too mad about that one. And Granite shield can be reset more frequently. The lower his health falls, and he can be reset as much as once every 8 seconds. So not too bad, because remember, his shield is going to give him a 50% damage mitigation, which is awesome. So he is going to be a viable tank, is what I'm kind of hoping. Adding to both shields here, as well as the engraving system, adding a ton more stats to him. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what he is going to be able to build there. All right, guys, so that will do it for the Maulers. Definitely looking at Krenn right now. That's going to be very cool looking. Taye and Granite possibly. Seems like some of the other heroes, super situational when you look at Drez, when you look at Titus. Seems like it's going to be situational. Skreg could possibly get a little bit of buff, but overall, I feel like they could have done more for some of the older heroes that nobody really uses, like looking at Vurk, looking at Khasos, looking at a couple heroes that most players do not use or you don't find in any of the late game formations. So guys, that will do it for the Mauler engraving. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Again, super stoked. And it's funny because thinking of the Wilders with Raku, which is a primary hero that everyone uses, Now looking at the Maulers with Krenn, which is a primary hero a lot of people use. It seems like Lilith really focused on the heroes that we are utilizing to make sure that we do have them built. So again, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.